Hello, you're listening to Celeb Stopover on your favorite station. My name is Ife Ajagbe, and I do have somebody. I have a cowboy in the building, literally. Yes, he's imported. So, I had to bring him in for you. Now, this guy, you know what? Let's stick with his brand name. His brand name is Conphidance. We'll reveal others later. We'll let you know other things later. But his brand name is Conphidance. And, I was watching a video where he said his name is CONPH, I dance. And I was like,
Bam.
God, really? Okay, currently is an actor, is a producer, and is a comedian. Comedy he has been doing for a very long time, like could be as long as 11 years if you like. So he's been on the grind for a pretty long time. So if perchance you saw him on Cowboy on Apple TV, that's Little America. It's not, the kind of things where you think people just blew. No, he didn't just blow. He's always been working. He just got to that point that now you're seeing him. So let's welcome Conphidance to the building. What's up, Conphidance? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm swagalicious.
You're swagger.
Swagalicious.
Okay, so Conphidance. I know that you were, raised in Nigeria. Yeah, a good part of your childhood was in Nigeria, yeah? And I'm very curious, why did you decide that you needed to go for your higher education abroad in the US, to be specific?
Oh, I didn't decide. Oh, my parents decided for me. Yeah.
Oh,
it was,
okay.
Yeah. It was actually like they woke us up in the morning and said we are moving to America. Just like that. And I was gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it a visa lottery?
It was a visa lottery, yes. So I think they didn't tell us because we were younger then. If they told a little child you might start talking too much, and before you know it, maybe somebody. Yeah, exactly. So literally woke up like maybe 5 a.m. or so, and we're gone.
I read of the fact that you were actually in the originals. I watched the originals and I wanted to go back and watch, and I'm like, that would be a long thing here. But so let's talk about productions. Besides, I know that currently, there's like you're wearing the cowboy look right now. In case you're listening to this on radio, all you need to do is go on YouTube, subscribe to Celeb Stopover on YouTube, and you can see the look. So yes, besides the fact that you were able to star in the cowboy episode of the anthology Little America, let's talk about other productions that made you feel real good about being an African in the US.
Okay. There's another one I did called Bob Hart's Abishola. That was, they actually just got season 2. So hopefully you'll see more of me. I play a Nigerian pastor on that one. And an independent film that I produced actually with a good friend of mine is called Clippers. We actually premiered it in Nigerian theaters. Yeah, it's called Clippers with the K. So it was nice to come back home and release our first feature at that time. And then,
All right. Okay, so there's a comment here from Eferobo Israel. Eferobo is a colleague. Eferobo is saying he's actually using your expression. Hold on, I'm going to get that comment.
It's been a lot of speculations, man.
Yes,
even as I'm here, there'll still be speculation.
Whether or not Conphidance will make an appearance on Celeb Stopover. So why do you use that expression?
Because there's a lot of speculations in the streets. You never know. There's a lot of talk. I'm telling you. Even as I'm here now, they will say, "Was I here?" We don't know. We don't know.
Or is this an imposter?
Exactly. See, now you're thinking. There's always speculation. Even Foley's knows. African Greek music knows.
Okay, yeah. Foley's is saying that they'll be seeing more dance videos from you. Is that a true thing? I know you're a drummer. Do you dance too?
Oh yes, yes, yes. I actually started more with some music and dance. Yeah. So the dance is real. It's serious.
Okay. Do
A
you
few
sing?
videos online, but yeah, some more pop up here and there.
Do you sing?
On Tuesdays, yes. Are you okay?
So we missed it, yeah?
Missed it. If you did this thing, 3 days ago, bam, I'd have hit a falsetto for you.
How about we postpone this conversation then? Like do it on Tuesday.
There's a lot that happens on Tuesday. It's better now.
Okay. All right. Confidence. Let's talk about the feel of the acceptance of Nigerians in the US. I don't know. It looks like Nigerians just have a special space. I don't know if it looks like everybody's consuming Nigeria. Like, oh, I want to come to Nigeria. Oh, there's a collaboration with regards to music. Oh, there's it's a biopic of some sort about a Nigerian. I mean, there's so many other African cultures, if you know what I mean. So what is about Nigeria right now that is hot?
I think one, we are overpopulated and we are everywhere. And Nigerians like to show who they are. They don't. It's not for us to hide it. So whether it is you are getting 10 degrees or you are the best at this, your character comes out at some point, and it's a joy to just see Africans here doing an amazing job. And I mean, in any industry, there's Nigerians just thriving and pushing the envelope. And it's just a matter of time for somebody to say, you know what is it about these people? Even the show Bob Hart Abishola, I kid you not, I heard that the main creator went to Nigeria, liked Nigeria. Yeah, his name is Chuck Lorre. He has done many amazing shows. Came back, said, you know what? Yeah, he came back and said, you know what? I want to make a show with a Nigerian character. Just like that. And now there's Bob Hart Abishola. So it's there's something about the energy, the spiritual energy that even we give off that is contagious. It's contagious.
Okay. Beyond the PR, I think you also mentioned something about population. So reality is probably the fact that if you're doing something with Nigerian content, you will sell. There's a business part also. Of course, yes. I mean, people across the world consume a lot, even in the Caribbeans, consume a lot. And it's also, people want a touch of back home, of back home in terms of Africa. So then when you have a group of people that are producing a high volume content of something relatable to back home, then it's only a matter of time for you to be like, I like that and I want more of that. And we are doing, and truth be told, if Nigeria gets full-time electricity, I think the world will change. So whoever is holding us back from getting electricity knows. Because if Nigerians are doing what they are doing even back home and here with 1 hour of electricity, imagine 24 hours electricity. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. I agree. I like where you went to. I didn't see it coming, but
There's been a lot of speculations where I would go. Is it left, right? Just put me on the football team, Nigeria, man. I'm telling you. It's not to go.
Actually, there's power supply right now. The current is just quite low.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So now a quick question. When your parents woke you to, take you to the US, did they think that you were going to become an actor?
Woo! Not at all. No, man. I mean, like it's even till today, I don't even know 100% if it's 100% accepted or not. It seems like it is, yes. And I'll be honest, it seems like it is. But I would say maybe most recently, it's feeling like it's official. But that's just me being honest. But you know, I came here, I actually went to school for biological engineering and biomechanics. So yeah, so me transitioning towards this is a shock. And I understand it because you're talking about engineering is more of a stable job. And we didn't win visa lottery to move here for you to do an unstable job. So it makes sense. It makes sense, 100%. It's just sometimes you, as an artist, you wish that no matter what, you got a little bit more support at the beginning. But no matter what, you still understand their perspective, knowing how Nigeria was in that time. We have an opportunity to do amazing things, and then to go back home and influence the country and people, and then you come up here and you're talking about you want to entertain.
Did you at any point experience racism? How was it for you? How did you get over it?
We did. Thankfully, I had. Thankfully, I'm the youngest of two boys. I have one brother, and he tended to be the muscle of the two boys. So any form of racism or bullying that happened, the old show Torino, check him a bit. I don't know if you remember.
I don't.
Yeah, in Nigeria, my #wisdom, my brother was pretty much the guy who handled the people who thought it was cool to be racist. Let's just keep it at that. Yeah.
Okay. You know what this tells me? That short film on your YouTube channel is actually a true story.
Yes, brotherly love. Yes, so it is loosely based on a true story, yes. But the incident didn't happen to me in real life.
Okay.
It didn't.
Okay.
The incident happened to #wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can check Apple TV and watch Little America, and it's on this. I think that will be the second episode, right?
It's the third on this one. Yeah. It's the third one. Yeah, the cowboy.
Yeah, so that's the cowboy. So check out the cowboy, and you would see confidence in that. It was so confident and pushy also. Okay, so about your character in that particular episode and whether it has anything to do with your personality in real life.
Oh wow. The time that he visited his family, yes, exciting and and jovial, outgoing. The rest of it, I would say, is my inward character. Not yet in the sense of. I think that's actually more who I am, in the sense of, I think for the majority of the time, I think I'm an introvert with, somebody said introvert with extrovert tendencies. So when people see me and things, then that's exciting thing may come out. But majority of the time, I'm always in a creative mentality and, trying to create something, work on something. So there's more of a deep thinker, relaxed, and just processing a lot of information intellectually. So it was more of me bringing that inward, awkward guy out on film. And
okay.
It was nice.
So let's talk about Uchenna Ichazu. Yeah. I like the fact that you did not detach from your Igbo-ness when you left Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good one, really. I like that. And yeah, how do you think the acceptance has been of that part of you amongst your, whether fellow Africans or even whites in your space?
Oh, I think it's highly accepted. I think it's almost I don't want to say the wrong word, but it's almost exotic in a sense of, you know, people like something that is different, and it stands out. You know, if you go to a lot of places and there is a lot of maybe African Americans, and you walk in and you are slightly different, and you embrace that uniqueness about you. And I think everybody has that. It's the individual who decides, I want to embrace that part of me, or I want to hide it. And I think if you embrace all the parts of you, then the joy in your personality just comes out. So I do. And there will be times when you put certain parts of you aside. You know, this is not the time for you to let your Igbo-ness overshadow everything at this time. And there's a time when it gets a lot of things done. Like when a police pulls you over and you bring out your Igbo-ness, you might not get a ticket. It depends on how you finesse it. I'm telling you, you might not. It's how you finesse it. Because you don't know, maybe he wants to visit Africa, even though he might think it's a country. But at that moment, it's not for you to be mad that he thinks it's a country. It's just for you to get away from the ticket. Yeah, so you have to know when to use what to get what you need. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You know, I'm sorry in advance for what I'm about to say. I hope it will not go on radio. Just go online. The fact that there are some things that Americans say that you would wonder at the level of education. Like, it's just, you know, such a way. Where would anybody think that Africa or Asia are countries? Why?
Yeah. You know,
why?
It's a sad reality. So I'll defend them in a way, but I'll explain it first. I think it was the I don't know who necessarily, the West, you know, promoting this Africa is a safari, Lion King, and that is what kids kept seeing. So if you keep seeing the same jungle, at some point it's like, oh, y'all are the same people, like y'all live with lions and tigers, you know. But to their defense, I'm going to say South Africa is what messes it up.
Why?
Because South Africa is a country and it is the southern part of Africa. Yeah, so if you say I'm going to South Africa, what? Where are you going? Is it the country? Or is exactly? So I think that can play a part in it, because a lot of whites are in South Africa. So when they say they are going to South Africa, it can confuse people in, where are you going? Is it which country? Oh yeah, no, South Africa. So I think that may play a lot in it. That is a country. So we have to continuously preach that it's not. Yeah. It's not. It's a sad reality.
All right, Conphidance. Let's talk about your music tastes. Like, which music are you consuming right now? Anywhere in the world. I'm not even trying to say Nigerian music or anything. What kind of music do you consume?
I consume Afrobeats. I consume gospel, and I really enjoy pop.
So who's your artist? Who is the top artist on your playlist, or your personal playlist right now?
Oh my goodness, that's hard, man. That's hard. That is Fino.
Oh, okay.
Slash Wisdom. It's crazy. Simishola.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. She's on point. I actually use some of her music for exercise and stuff. And it's interesting that I think she married Adekunle. gold. I think their music blends well. Their music blends really, really well.
When you said it's
outside,
when you said it's interesting, she married Adekunle, I thought you actually had an eye for her. You know, there was a way you said
hey, look at you. You're causing trouble. You're trying to cause trouble.
No, I'm not. I was just looking at your facial expression. Okay, sorry I said that.
You're trying to start gist.
No, I'm not. Oh,
this is how speculations come. You see what they're doing? And then tomorrow, if something pops out, it's speculations. It's been a whole lot of speculations, man.
Confidence. You're sounding too defensive. You're sounding so defensive. It sounded like I'm right.
Nah. She's a great artist, and I admire Adekunle's work. So seeing both of them was like, wow, that's it's a little bit like the Jay-Z and the Beyonce. You know, it kind of fits in with the style of music that they make. Yeah, I love it.
Does Slash Wisdom make music?
Does he what?
Does he make music?
Oh yes, he does. He does. He has a song out called "Get Out" right now. He does. He is. Interestingly, he's actually the one who got me into this industry. He was the first one to let me know, yo man, you can do this. Like you're supposed to do this, and you know, like I said, he's been the guy. He's been the guy, and you may not have noticed, but another reason why Little America will forever be something that is dear to me is in the show. He actually plays my father when I was young. If you watch the very first scene, is the only scene that I'm not in. The younger me is there, so he is the father of the younger me. But it's ironically or metaphorically, it is he introduced me in the show, you know, and it's kind of like he brought me into the entertainment. And so forever, I'm always going to see Little America as a huge stepping stone, metaphorically, to my career in this business. Because
okay, it already feels like you guys should just have shares on that production. Like just tell Apple Music, you know, we should have shares.
Hey, why not? Why they are listening but they're hiding? Let them know. Apple, what's up, man? Yeah. Instead, they're sending me apples. They're sending me apples. What do I need apples for? Give me shares. They're sending apples.
Let's talk about movies generally for you. How has the grind been? Which do you find easier? Do you find it easy getting roles as an actor, or is production really your thing? Like being a producer, is it really your thing?
You know, I think it's a tough thing to say. I want to say being a producer is my thing. Because as an actor, it almost feels like I'm never fully fulfilled. So as long as I'm doing more than one thing, I think for me, as a creative and also an intellectual, it feels if I just come in and act, I feel like I'm not using my brain enough, and it actually bothers me. So it's kind of like the same way as I said, I was an engineer who was working on different things and just grinding. So to come in and do the acting and then walk out and just sit and waiting to see what the finishing product looks like is very annoying. Yeah, like it's yeah. So if I was say acting on this project, writing on something else, producing something else, then even though I may not be involved deeply in the editing in one movie, but my brain is appreciating, oh, well, you're writing this other thing, you're producing this. So I'm using different brain power and I'm living my life, man. So it's important for me to be a well all-rounded entertainer and creative.
Okay. We do have some questions here. Okay, Tosinga is saying you're multi-talented. Hi to you, Tosinga. Lady Gwen is asking a question saying, how did he get into the movie industry in the US? Was it really tedious? Perhaps, okay, we've not taken that question. How did you get into the movie industry in the US? Was it tedious?
Yes, it is. So I finished school, and the music industry pops a lot here in Atlanta, New York, or LA. And I had to pick where I would go to kind of see if I had what it took. Because while I was studying engineering, I would write like sketch comedy or like short plays and put it on. So I was great in the small town, but you have to go to the big boys and see if you can stand out. So I chose Atlanta because it was kind of close by to my home state at that time. And if I wanted to visit home, I could do that. So while I was there, I actually became a math teacher. Yeah. So while I was teaching, I would teach during the day, then I'll grind at night and try to figure out the industry. And then somebody I met through somebody else, through a friend from church. It's crazy. I met her through a friend from church. She said, hey, I think you should take this writing class. I was like, okay. So interestingly, I won't say her name. She doesn't like to be talked about, but she actually paid for my writing class. So that was actually my only official training, was the writing. So I took the writing class and I wrote some sketch comedy, and they loved it. And I said, oh wow. So a majority of them were white, like I kid you not. So it received a standing ovation. So it now became, if all these different ethnicities were here and they enjoyed what I wrote, maybe I have what it took. And then from there, an agent was there. Then they called me up and said, hey, there's a commercial for Delta Airlines. Do you want to do it? I auditioned, long story short, I got it. And it was from there, it really was from there that a lot of doors just started to pop open. But prior to that, I obviously did a lot of independent things. I did my own web series. I did a lot of free short films. Anything that was creative, I just did it. It was a chance for me to meet people and to learn from them. So everything was free for like maybe a year or two. And then afterwards, things started to flow. The money started coming in. And those people that I did things for free in the beginning, they remembered, and they would now call me back years later. When I say years later, I mean that. And it just started growing. And then from nowhere, it was time to go to LA.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, Simply Tiff is asking, is there a role you will not take?
She knows the answer to that.
Yeah.
Is there a role I would not take? Yes. So acting, people may not know, but I think acting is very spiritual, whether you like it or not. It is. It is, especially when you are talking true acting, not play, like you are really embodying a character. And so for me is, if it's something that is gonna hinder my real life, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter what it is, because at some point, you are like, I can remember the projects I did 10 years ago. I can remember what I did 15 years ago. If I wasn't excited doing it then, if something was troubling me, I'm going to remember. So it really has to speak to me deep down. For the most part, sexual roles is like, I don't know. I tend not to curse a lot in my films. It's not my thing internally. Maybe if there was a deep meaning to the story, then yes, but just
for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's It's not because at some point when I say you're embodying these characters, if those lines were in the script before we are shooting, I would have said that line like 100 times. 100 times. So it can easily become who I am in real life. It can. So if I want to protect who I am, then I have to be careful about what I am doing. In anything, not just that. It's so many different things. It's kind of like if you are playing. This is funny, but if you are playing a character who cheats all the time, and I'm being serious here, and you are married, after the 5th season of cheating, you might feel like you are very talented in cheating. I'm being serious. You might feel like you are very talented. And if you're not careful, you may start saying, how far can I take this cheating with my spouse? Yeah, you can. You can. Yeah, so at some point, you might be like, you know what? I need to take a break on this cheating road. Yeah, because no matter what you think, it's spiritual. It becomes you. It becomes you.
This is a wonderful place.
Thank you.
A Nigerian guy who is slowly becoming a cowboy. What interest does he have in that? But being here, you experience things that remind you of back home in so many different ways.
Mbọmụta ihe ụfọdụ ebe ahụ tupu ịnọta.